What's going on, everybody? Ricky Robinson with 2 Media, back again with another video. In this video, I'm talking about another microphone, but this magical microphone comes from Maono. This is the Maono PD200W hybrid wireless microphone. And that was a mouthful, but let me explain what makes it magical. Actually, let me show you. This microphone has a cool trick up its sleeve. Let's see if you can figure out what I'm about to do. And now there are no cables, but yet you can still hear my voice. That is the magic of this microphone. Also, let's say I really didn't want to shoot in this space anymore. Let's move to another location and let's see how easy that is. So now here I am in a different location. This microphone could be used in many scenarios and you can get similar audio from one place to the next. So now here I am in another location in my office, trying out a different shot. I'm able to get my nerd corner. I got my lightsaber. I know it's pretty loud. Sorry about the noise. I wish there was a way to turn it off. And I got all my nerd stuff here. So I got all my Dragon Ball Z, my Game of Thrones stuff, my One Piece stuff, my Back to the Future stuff, Ninja Turtles, Marvel, Superman, anything you can think of, video game stuff, all kind of Star Wars stuff down there. So it's a nice thing to be able to move around in a space without having to worry about wires, but contradicted myself. So now let's move back to the desk to see how it sounds connected to the Rodecaster Duo and connected to the computer to see how I can make these mics sound the best they possibly can. Let's go to the desk over there. As you can see, this magical microphone works with no cables connected to it. Now, of course, you're probably going to get the best audio out of a hardwired system. That goes for just about anything. Hardwired internet is better than wireless internet. This microphone just gives you great sound, as you guys can hear. It sounds really good. I have it connected to the Rodecaster Duo, and this is how it sounds right off the bat. No processing at all. And this is how it sounds with processing. Wow, what a difference. This sounds a little bit too processed to me. I kind of like the other way, how it sounds better, but I mean, you guys can be the judge. I'll turn off the processing though. So this is how the microphone sounds right out of the box, connected directly into an XLR interface and recording it that way. But I'm also going to show you how it sounds in USB-C mode, and I'm going to show you some of the functions and features you get when you connect it to USB-C or wireless. This is the 3.5 millimeter adapter that you can get separately. This does not come with the kit. This is the USB-C dongle that comes with it. And this comes with this little cable. It also comes with a longer cable, and both of the cables have a USB-C to USB-A adapter on the end of them. So there's just about everything you need in the box to get started. Not only does it come with this USB-C dongle and all the cables, it comes with the actual boom arm that you see it on right now. And it's an excellent kit that you can get up and running really easily just with this kit. Now, again, if you wanted to do more advanced or you wanted to save a little bit of money, you can get the desktop stands. There's also a dual mic kit, and 2 mics will work on this one receiver and also this one receiver. There's also a lightning receiver if your phone does not have USB-C, but you can get either one. So this is how this microphone sounds in XLR mode. Now we're going to change to USB-C mode and see how it sounds connected to the application. So now here we are in the application, and you guys can see the microphone is showing. It shows the percentage of the battery. It shows the name of the actual device. It shows basic, which allows you to adjust the gain of the microphone and again the gain of the headphone volume. There's also noise cancellation built in here. So if you wanted to start and try it out, I'm going to start some sounds in the background so you can hear how the noise cancellation helps your audio. So this is with slight noise cancellation on. Notice the sounds of my voice, but also the sound in the background. So this is slight. Now we're going to try moderate. So this is moderate noise cancellation. listen to the sound of my voice, and listen to the sounds in the background. Now this is aggressive. So now you are hearing the aggressive noise cancellation. And listen to the sounds of my voice to see how it sounds. There is also a mute button here. So now it's unmuted. I will stop this sound. And we will go back to off so you can hear the difference with the aggressive and noise. No, you would hear the difference between aggressive and no noise cancellation. So now we are back on no noise cancellation so you can hear how that sounds. All right, so now let's check out the scenes. So this is in original. Yeah, these are something I created, so I'm not gonna mess with those too much. And this is how it sounds in podcast mode. This is how the podcast mode sounds on this microphone. This is podcast 1. There's also podcast 2. And this is how it sounds in podcast 2. This is how it sounds in podcast 2. So how do you like podcast 1 or podcast 2? There's also game. So game 1, if you notice, it does affect that high pass area. So it's trying to probably get rid of some of the rumble that comes from a computer, which is what I'm assuming, that rumble and maybe the humming of the computer, of the electronics, and some of the hiss that might come from like the fans in the actual computer. And then you go to game 2, which is a little bit more aggressive. So as you can see, they dropped off that low end there to get rid of a lot more of that rumble, and they brought down some more of the high end. So how does it sound? Then the last one is sing. This is pop. This is how pop sounds. It definitely killed most of the low end, and it raised some of that high end, and it scooped it out a little bit here and a little bit here. This is how it sounds, but it also has a ton of reverb, as you guys can see. And then we'll go to folk. Folk still kills a lot of that low end, maybe not as much. And it brought down some of that high end, and it did scoop it here. But you got a little bit of a presence boost, so it wants some of that mids to come up. And you see that the reverb got cut down quite a bit. So that's how the sing sounds, and that is the last one. But if you wanted to create your own, you can hit the plus sign and just do test 2. Confirm. But as you see, it kind of picked it up after that. So now you can tweak that. So say you like a sound and you wanted to tweak it, you can tweak it that way. So you like that sound, but maybe you didn't like the reverb, or maybe you didn't like another end of that. You can tweak any one of those if you just hit the plus sign in that area. So for me, I went here and I went to test. And of course I got rid of some of the low end and some of the high end to get rid of some of the rumble and some of the hiss in the microphone and in the environment. So it's a good way to get rid of some of the noises that might be in your environment. So you can try it that way. All right. So this is the application. That not only was the application, but that was a taste of how the USB-C mode can sound on this microphone. So you got a little bit of taste of both. But now let's compare it to another microphone that you guys don't even see. So now you're listening to me on the Comica VM40. And this is also a wireless microphone that uses a dongle just like this one, but that one has a screen on it, and you can record 32-bit float audio in this microphone. I'm not recording 32-bit float. This is just standard, but you can record directly to the microphone. The microphone also gives you about 30 hours of usage out of the microphone on one charge. The dongles and the adapters and that stuff does not last as long as the actual mic does, but there's also places to plug it in and charge it while you're using it. I probably wouldn't, because you can get some interference noise from the charging while you're actually recording with this device connected to your camera. You can also get some weird noises if you have this thing charging while you are using the actual adapter connected to your camera or your phone. So beware of that. Just listen to it and see what it sounds like and play around with different adapters to see how that sounds. But while we are talking on this VM40, let me show you what this microphone actually looks like. I'm going to take it off this mic stand and we're going to see what it looks like and show you all the buttons and knobs and all that good stuff. So now this is the Maono PD200 wireless microphone. You guys can see it has that light ring around it all the way around the microphone. It also has the knob in the front with a mute button right on the top. So when you press the mute button, you can see how it blinks red. And now it's not blinking. The knob is a 3-function knob, so you can do the gain of your microphone, you can do the gain of the actual headphones, and you can do your noise cancellation. So if you click through it, that is the gain of the microphone, and this is the gain of the headphone volume. It turns blue, and if you press and hold it for a few seconds, it turns green, and now you can adjust the level of noise cancellation on the microphone. So if you're not close to your phone or you're not close to your device, you can still tweak that audio right from the actual microphone. And on the back are the ports. You got your XLR, you got your USB-C right here, you got your 3.5 right here, and you got your power button and your light button. So if you press the button, it'll continue through all of the different light colors and light settings, so like breathing and stuff like that and looping, or you can turn it all the way off. This microphone has about a 60-hour lifespan with the light off. So if you wanted to get the most out of your microphone, you would turn that light off. But if you wanted to get, if you're okay getting 30 something hours, which is still pretty good, you can turn the light on and still enjoy your light. So that's your looping right there, and you press and hold it to turn it off. Switching between these two adapters is really easy. You turn both of these off, you turn the microphone off, you turn the adapter on, the adapter will start blinking. You turn on the microphone and the microphone will find the adapter. The same thing with both adapters. So switching between them is pretty easy. Just give yourself a few seconds to switch between the actual adapters. It's real simple. So this is the Maono PD200 magical wireless hybrid microphone. Dope, very, very cool microphone. I'll show you the capsule too, wide as well. So you guys can see that 30mm capsule. So there you have it, and this windscreen. The windscreens, it feels real soft, it feels real nice, it works, but being how the capsule is so close to the end of the actual microphone, the actual screen, you're gonna pick up more plosives than if it was a little bit further away. But that of course will make the microphone a lot bigger, so probably that's why they don't do it. But this microphone is pretty cool and highly capable. I think if you're looking for something that is very flexible, that just gets your creative juices flowing, then look no further than the Maono PD200. There will be a link down in the description down below to show you where you can get this microphone. That is an affiliate link, so I do get a kickback from that link. Finally, I can get some affiliate links on my channel, so you guys are able to click on it and purchase it and help out the channel. I would appreciate it if you did. Thank you, Maono, for sending the microphone out for me to test. Really appreciate it. No money exchanged hands, and they didn't even tell me what to say. They just said, would you like to review this product and put out a video? And I said, sure. And there was no pressure at all. They have been really nice over there, so I appreciate them and their sentiment and their, considering me for testing out this microphone. It's pretty cool. There is a negative to me with this microphone, and that is the part that I really was interested in, and that's the wireless aspect of this microphone. But while I tell you about that, I'm going to connect it to my phone, record on my phone, and see how it sounds connected to my phone. So now here I am connected to my phone using the USB-C adapter that comes with this kit. You can get the 3.5 adapter, but it is an extra charge, which is one knock to it. I wish you can get a kit with this. The other kits come with just about everything you could think of. Maybe this was an afterthought. Maybe it sounds a little bit better on this actual USB-C adapter than it does on this. Maybe this needs an update. But that is my one gripe about this device. The 3.5 adapter wireless connecting with this microphone does not sound as good as it does in USB-C and XLR mode. There is a little bit of a warbling, or I don't know the sound, technical sound name or whatever that issue that I'm having. There is some artifacts, there is some digitalness that goes on with that, and I'm not really crazy about the sound in wireless mode, but it's still very useful, and I could probably get away with tweaking it in the edit. But this 3.5 millimeter to this thing just doesn't sound as good, in my opinion, as it does in XLR and USB-C. And that is my biggest gripe with this setup. So you guys can hear, you tell me what you think down below. Let's go back to the other camera. Yes, the 3.5 millimeter wireless connection could be better, but for all the stuff you get in here and still having that flexibility to use it wherever you want to and just get creative and be able to create content on your phone or your camera and put it out there for people to watch is a major go, a major plus for me. So that's why I was very interested in testing this microphone. But you guys let me know down below what you guys think about this microphone. Are all the benefits going to outweigh the negative? Also, if you're curious about how this microphone sounds stacked up against another microphone, Rode Pod Mic 1st Gen or the Tank 1, Tank 6, let me know down below. I'll make another video, but it will be a long video, so I'm trying not to make this too long. This is probably already going into just about an hour that I've been recording this video or longer. So I'm going to have to cut out a lot of this stuff. Let's just see how you guys think what this microphone sounds like versus the VM40. All right. My name is Ricky Robinson with 2 Times R Media. Peace.